Pastor Florine, and thank you for the introduction. We appreciate him very much for standing up for religion freedom. Thank you so very much. I want to also recognize and thank my wife for coming and supporting us. So we want to, today I'm going to read off my notes. Usually I'm traditionally just talking, but I wanted to make sure I don't miss any point today as we get ready to go into our speech. But for those who know me and those who do not know me, I want to just give you a little bit of my background. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that who do men say that I am? And some say I'm a bad guy, some say nice guys, and some say all kinds of things about me. But I'll try to give you a little bit about myself that some of you may not know. I'm a sharecropper from Louisiana. We pick cotton and we chop cotton. And we made 20 cents per hour. But the first 13 years, we worked and we didn't make anything. So we worked 13 years without a paycheck or a thank you. So at age 13, we decided that we would leave home and from down south to get from being a sharecropper to get my parents out from being in slavery. And we did that, and we was able to be successful and to make that happen. So we was age 13, we ran away from home, age 13. We have one BA, and that BA is born again. And so as we take and focus on life during those particular days, we wanted to make sure that we could be raised up and make sure that we look after our mothers and our fathers and our sisters and our brothers. And although my parents is deceased and gone on home today, I still look at everybody here today as my brother, my sisters, or my mother.
Yes, sir.
So we ran out of food at home. We would have to give our neighbor some food. And the next week, they would give us some food, or vice versa. It was always a borrow 1 week, and they pay back 1 week. It's kind of like church. You come to the church this year, next time you gotta come to the other church, and you gotta make sure you better bring some money, all right? So we were something like that, and so what I thought I would do was that we was poor. We were very poor. And I still say today, I'm poor today. Because money is only good if you can share it with others. True. And we're trying to do that. That's why you see from age 21 to 30 years of age when I got my first McDonald's restaurant, we've been given in the last 40 years that we've been working and making some dollars. We've been probably giving away somewhere in the neighborhood of $70 to $80 million over the last 8 years. So the people who's out there, it's been my own money and not the taxpayer money.
All right,
I I do believe in equal opportunity for all people, regardless of race, creed, or color. It don't do anybody any good to come into the world with hate.
That's right.
Doesn't do anybody any good today to dislike somebody because of their color. Doesn't do any good for anyone today to hold a grudge against someone else. With life is more important today than to try to get even with somebody because of what somebody did to you in the past. Two wrongs, my mother said, doesn't make one right.
All right, sir.
And I know that today we have the situation in Chicago is crime. Crime is a major problem in this city of ours. Crime is a problem into all of our cities in the United States. So I want to talk about that in a few minutes, about this crime and what I propose to do as your next mayor of the city of Chicago. I wanted you to know that we're trying to visit and will visit 77 communities in the city of Chicago. I want you to know that tradition, whether you white, black, Latina, Asian American, and others, is that we have to get out of our own environment. All right. I had the opportunity to meet a good friend of mine now, Pastor Dr. Shondo. And prior to that, I was in my environment, just pretty much in the African American community, because we were raised down south one way, and as we journeyed through life, we faced a lot of race discrimination. But I had to also learn, that my mother told me, that whether you're white or black, Latina, Asian, you love everybody. And you know, it's funny how life takes you around. We were raised that we had to be on one side of the street. We had to go in a certain washroom. And we were raised first. And on my birth certificate today, it said color. On my birth certificate today.
That's right.
It said color.
Yes, sir.
Now, left from color went to Negro. Left from that went to black. Left from that went to African American. And I don't know what the next one was. And so what we decided to do was forget about whether you white, black, Asian, other, Latina. I decided that I'd become all of you. And so that's the only way we can focus on getting to what I call getting to heaven, what we do as Christian people.
That's right.
Of course, sometimes the Christian people treat me worse than the ones in the street. But we must try to work hard to bring us all together. I'm so glad today that we have a mixture of everybody in this room here. And let me talk about this thing called crime for a minute. People are afraid to ride the CTA. crime on CTA has increased over 40% over the past year. Battery is up 60%. Theft is up 80%. So far this year, 350 people have been murdered and more than 1,700 people has been shot. Last year, 276 kids, 16 years of age and younger, has been shot. 80% of gun violence is in the, sad to say, 80% is in the African American community. 80%. And I want to try to explain this here in my particular way here because that's troublesome. In the Latino community is 18%. In the white community is 7.1%. We have some issues that we all must deal with.
Amen. Yes.
We all must come together on. We must not just talk about someone else, what they didn't do in this administration or what they haven't done in the past. We will talk about how we're going to fix the problem. Everybody knows there's a problem, but nobody want to come up with a solution. In other words, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. It is a problem that today we know that today our police officers are handcuffed by the administration. When the next few months I take over office as mayor of the city of Chicago, we will take off the handcuff of the police. And we will put the handcuff on the people who are victimizing us on the criminals. We must take and stop the young people, the gangbangers out here from polarizing our community.
Yes, sir.
And if when we lock them up in jail, if the state's attorney and anybody let them out, we'll just lock them up again. All right? I am so tired of this killing that's going on.
Yes, sir.
We must take this situation of violence serious. We must approach this here just like we would do COVID-19. We will stop this violence. We will make sure that our police officers have the tools to work with that they need. And we will prepare our community to take and be able to stop the violence by investing into the root of the problem. Here's a few things that I would do as your mayor. I will attack poverty with investment in people. We will invest into education and family. I will rebuild the trust with all our law enforcement in our community so that when we walk into our police officer, that they won't turn their back, but we'll be shaking hands and hugging like brothers. I will divide the police cars and have 3 to 4 police officers in the car and mixed by white, black, Latina, and others. I will divide the city into 4 districts for superintendent that will report direct to me, myself, as mayor of the city of Chicago. How can you have 50 aldermen running this city and 1 superintendent of police? That don't make no sense. I will bring back foot patrol and real community policing. And I will make sure we deal with this situation called race relationship by having training class and walking together and making sure that we got equal opportunity, equality for all of our citizens. I will invest into witness protection program. I will bring back CTA police on train and buses. I will bring back and prioritize, we'll rehire our veteran police that is retired, bring them back. We'll also bring back all of the retirees for the police officer to help us to get through this process. And I will increase the salary of the police officer and provide them income for housing and people that put their lives on line for all of us. And I would name and delegate anti-gun violence coordinated into every agency in the city of Chicago.
All right, John.
I would strengthen our detective division by making sure that we have a diverse force within our detective division, so that way we can work together. I would create a hotline for all citizens to report crime direct to the mayor's office, and we will review that on a daily basis. And I will work hard to improve the morale among our police officers. I will make sure that all of the city hall reflect on Chicago. I will put training program into our schools, our churches. And I will make it become a law that before you finish high school or any school, you have to know at least 1 or 2 trades. We will make sure that all of our citizens have a fair break. We will make sure we put a safety net and advance the necessary capital to take that help the person who have dreams to become business people. That they have resources to do it. And I will make sure that in school, we will make sure that teach our young men and young ladies about the stock market. And we'll make sure that they understand how to deal with international business. $1 in the United States is different than from what it is in China. We need to understand that we need to teach our kids, young people, how to deal with and make investment. And we'll make sure that as we do business in the city of Chicago, not only will the major corporation get the contract, but we'll make sure that every citizen gets contract that reflects the makeup of Chicago. And this way, you don't really have to worry about the contract and people who empower the community, because as you give out the contract within the community, that's empowered the community within the state. Our Lawndale should look the same as it do in downtown. Canaanwood should look at the same way as downtown. We will make sure that I've been here since 1965, but 1968, when the riots came in Chicago, those communities are looking the same way today. We'll break up all that mess, all right? We'll make sure that these things exist to get down the violence.
Amen. Yes.
An example is that if you have two people born into the world at the same time, one wealthy, one not wealthy, one middle class, and the other one poor. When those two people come into the world, whether you're white, black, Latina, or Asian, or other, they're born the same way. They're born the same way.
Same way.
But somehow or another, the person over here has the resources, and those kids come up being successful all the way through. But now, you got the person that is poor, they continue to go downhill. We have generation to try to catch up with. We must make sure that our school is practicing what we really need to do to make sure that everybody is held accountable. I will hold a quarterly meeting with anybody there who wants to see us as relates to business and community on a quarterly basis out into the community itself to hear what the citizens have got to say.
Yes, sir.
I will not take them and try to hide things or sweep things under the rug. I would take them making sure that we put an accountant in place to help them streamline the people who's in business so they don't fail and go backwards. We will make all of these things happen. You know, there's poor black and brown people, but there are also poor white people too.
Amen.
We begin to get this thing mixed up. We begin to, why should there be 7 communities in Chicago? I asked the question, there only should be one community in Chicago. One community versus 77 communities. We have to pull one another together and make this city great like it used to be. And as we take and look around in the community, and I've been to quite a lot of them lately, we have different issues and different problems. Somebody say, Wilson, you going out giving people money for the holidays, why don't you give them a turkey or chicken? And I say, why am I going to give them a turkey or a chicken when they don't have a stove at home to cook it up? You have to, in other words, to the people who's here today, I done pretty much checked the box in life. I'm one of you. That's the bottom line. I am one of you. And I won't ever forget from where I came. Money won't cure cancer. Money can't stop death when it comes knocking at your door.
Can't do it.
We must bring us together. I wasn't put on earth to complain about problems. I will put on earth to solve problems.
All right, sir.
We'll get rid of these high taxes. We'll get rid of these red light cameras. That rob the poor. We'll get rid of all these driveway taxes. And you don't mess around, after a while we're gonna have tax on how we wear our hair.
Teach us, doctor.
A person who come to town and we pay so many people taxes until they come in and they say, I don't know, the only thing we have is a home, and if I lose my home, it's all the savings that we have. We done tax them out of their home, done ran them out of the city. We're taking then, run out people out of Chicago to shop over in Hammond, Indiana and Maryville, Indiana. Gasoline is over there because it's lower.
Yes.
There are more, look, in order to fix a problem, I say that you don't raise taxes on people, you lower taxes, and you balance your budget like you're balancing it. You run people away. How are you going to ever have tax when you run them away? How is you going to have business in your town if you tax them out of your town? Don't make sense. Just don't make sense. We're gonna lower these taxes, y'all. We're gonna bid out all contracts to make sure we get the best deal, but we're gonna make sure it reflects Chicago. And we want to also, as we come into these areas that property is so down and so poor, that's create violence.
Yes, it does.
Somebody don't have food at home, what do you think they're gonna do? Common sense. I would do the same thing. If I didn't have food at home, I'd go out and if nobody don't give it to me, I would go out and steal food myself. Being real. We have to make sure that we have a safety net, put away X amount of dollars on a line item that when someone get poor or someone like COVID-19